pandemic and its economic impact has affected markets and businesses all around the world. It has affected all sectors from the economy and various businesses from restaurants, movie theaters, and salons. Many larger businesses, such as warehouses and factories, have also been affected due to the decreased demand, material shortage, and government mandated closures. It has negatively affected many people's lives and decimated jobs from millions of people. One of the industries that has been greatly impacted would be the travel and tourism industry. The Maumeri indigenous people can be categorized under the Sonoy sub-ethnic group. They are known as the Sea people or the Forest people. The Maumeri people are well known for their cultural dances, handmade crafts, wooden sculptures, and masks. Kampung Sungai Bunbun, one of the villages found in Carey Island, is a well-established indigenous tourism destination. Hence, many of the Maumeri people rely on the tourism industry as their only source of income. Due to the pandemic, the tourism industry has been greatly affected. Tourists are not allowed to enter into the village, depleting many of the villagers' only source of income. Hence, many of them are looking for more tourism activities to increase their income, and homestay may as well be one of the solutions to.
According to what Miss Lila said, they are very interested in homestay. There are few that have said that they would like us to try and start something because they feel that by having people coming and staying in, the people would like to know their culture and traditional life. So by creating a sustainable homestay design, we will be able to help the villagers preserve their natural environment and their cultural and traditional way of life, while creating job opportunities for the younger generations. Our objective is to design an environmentally, socio-culturally, and economically sustainable building for the Kampung Stay project implemented for the Mameri village, especially Kampung Sungai Bumbung. Through this project, we will be addressing the five SDGs: no poverty, clean energy, good jobs and economic growth, innovation and infrastructure, and sustainable cities and communities.
Ms. Lila mentioned that at the moment, all tourist activities has been stopped at all the village, especially Sungai Bumbun. Many of the Mount Mary villages who have been dependent on the tourist industry has been very affected by it. Dr. Puvanesh Warren also mentioned that tourist sustainability is endangered with the intervention of outsiders, hence leading us to our main POVs. So the first one, the Maumeri indigenous people from Pulau Kari rely heavily on the tourist industry as their source of income. They require more tourist attraction, which may remove heavily reliance on the third-party agents to bring in tourists to their village, while at the same time allowing more people to dive deep into their culture. Secondly, the Maumeri indigenous people from Pulau Kari rely heavily on the third-party agents to attract tourists to their village and share the profit with those people. They require a homestay and tourist activity system which can be managed by the villagers themselves, which not only allows them to keep all the profits, but also reduce the restriction placed in how they present the cultures, reducing the risk of cultural friction. Thirdly, the Maumeri indigenous people from Pulau Kari rely heavily on the tourist industry, which focus on their unique culture as the source of income. They require a solution to spread awareness and preserve their culture in the rapidly modernizing and globalizing world. Not only to help the younger generation of the village in appreciating the inheritance of their forefathers, but also to look at it as a profitable source of income. Okay, lastly, users and visitors of the homestay will require minimum conventional living standards, a building that can accommodate guests and make them feel comfortable, which also allow them to live alongside the Maumeri community without causing any tension.
The name we came up with for our kampung stay is Duk Tapi. The name was decided by combining two words from the endangered Maori language, namely Duk meaning house and Tapi meaning beach. We believe that it holds the essence of the village and accurately defines our focus or theme of sustainability as it aids in publicizing and preserving their culture and language. Our kampung stay is designed as a standalone pod consisting of a main bedroom area, a bathroom, and its own balcony and grill area. The basic cone-shaped design of the building provides a unique and aesthetic appearance to the kampung stay that is able to attract the attention and incite the curiosity of the tourists. It was chiefly inspired by the totem used in the Mamari cultural dance performed periodically on the beach and captures the essence of familiarity with the cultural context. Meranti hardwood, which is similar in color and texture to the Nyirabatu wood that the village often use for their wood carvings, is used as the main material in the building structure and further enhances the sense of familiarity to the Mamari villagers while preserving a part of their cultural aspect. By taking advantage of its location on the beach, it was designed with a large open balcony that provides a 360-degree view of the sea and sky. The pod is built on stilts to provide proper ground ventilation, prevent flooding from the tides, and avoid animals from entering indoors. The outdoor grill and dining area at the front of the balcony is a place where tourists can enjoy their meals with a grand view of the beach. The simple design of the balcony railings provide minimal hindrance and maximum view of the beach. Further down the balcony are panels or screens made from wood. These wooden panels will be embellished with carvings crafted by the local Mamari villagers themselves to showcase their history, culture, and traditions. Tourists will be able to walk along the balcony to immerse themselves in an interactive way of understanding the Mamari culture. With an interesting play of light and shadow from the sun as well, this structure greatly contributes to the socio-cultural sustainability of the kampung stay. The water missing system is a mechanism installed on the roof of the kampung stay. Rainwater is harvested from a funnel-like structure above before it is filtered and collected in a water tank. The harvested rainwater is then converted into very fine mist that helps in cooling down and lowering the temperature of the surrounding space, reducing the need of artificial air conditioning. Besides that, the rainwater filter is also encased with solar panels that generate electricity to power appliances used in the kampung stay. The water missing system and solar panels aim to utilize natural resources as much as possible to minimize the use of environmentally damaging appliances. Due to the reality of the hot and humid tropical weather in Malaysia, we have to be practical and install an air conditioning system inside the building as a basic human amenity. This can be fully or partially powered by the solar panels mentioned earlier. Even so, in an effort to minimize the use of air conditioning, we have also installed a remote control ventilating system that allows the natural breeze from the sea to flow into the pod, especially during hot afternoons. Indoors, the pod consists of a main bedroom area and a fully equipped bathroom. The placement of each furniture and utility maximizes the use of limited space. The small size of the pod also aids in saving energy as less electricity is required to cool and maintain a smaller space, allowing the living pod to be more environmentally and economically sustainable. The reason behind using a remote controlled ventilating and curtain system is to provide convenience for the tourists staying in the kampung stay, especially when rain may enter the building with the openings made. A large glass window allows infiltration of as much natural light as possible while providing a maximum view of the beach or ocean. Overall, the kampung stay is designed to be more environmentally, socioculturally, and economically sustainable. The simple aesthetic and familiar design aims to attract tourists while blending in with the Orang Asli style.
Through this homestay project, we aim to increase the amount of tourists visiting the village, mainly Kampung Sungai Bumbun. More job opportunities will be created for both the younger and older generations, as more manpower will be required to run the homestay. The increase in communication between the older and younger generation will improve their relationship and bond, which also helps in preserving their culture by allowing them to pass down their traditions easily. The cut wooden panels on the balcony included in our design can also help to convey the Mamri culture to both the tourists and the younger Mamri generation. Since many of the Mamri rely heavily on the tourism industry as their main source of income, the rise in flow of tourists will provide improved income levels for the villagers. Besides that, the Mamri will no longer have to solely or entirely rely on third parties to bring them tourists. nor do they have to share a percentage of their profit with them, since this kampung stay is meant to be run by the Mamari villagers themselves. The Mamari will then have a better overall living standard and enhanced quality of life, while also preserving their culture.
We're going to be talking about the risks involved and the weakness of the prototype. So the risks involved in the prototype include termite infestation, damage to homestay by tourists, language barrier, unwanted modern influences, and contradicting cultures. So the termite infestation and maintenance requirements are due to the usage of wood for kampong stay construction. There will be a possible risk of termite infestation, leading to structural damage and decline in structural support. The usage of timber as a construction material is also less durable and thus requires a higher frequency of undertaking preventative measures and maintenance schedules. In order to reduce these requirements as much as possible and reduce the cost in the long run, proper finishing applied on the timber structure should be monitored during construction to repel termites and increase durability. Damage to homestay can be due to some guests and visitors undertake activities which may cause damage to both the facilities of the homestay or the visitors and managers themselves. Not to mention the managers may be more foreign to the modern culture. Its repercussions and approach to the problems that come along with it, making it hard for them to manage the damages. To prevent this, a list of do's and don'ts is prepared in advance by the managers with the help of representative from official organizations, of course, which should be available to the guests when they arrive at the homestay. The list will hold guests responsible for the possible damage and perhaps probably pay for the damage as well, and include restrictions on smoking and general safety procedures, etc. The language barrier can also be a problem since not all tourists may know how to speak Malay or the Mahmeri language. A translated dictionary of Mahmeri language should be provided in the homestay for guests to refer. Additionally, a long-term solution may be to encourage the Mahmeri youth to learn different languages through educational activities. Both these steps also encourage the increase in awareness of Mahmeri culture. Unwanted modern influences are a problem. However, to preserve their own cultural heritage, more emphasis will be placed on learning their own history and language. Since their language and traditions are passed down orally, there's a higher chance of it being endangered. With the rise in the amount of tourists entering the village, there may be additional unwanted modern influences that will affect their tradition, including those being passed down to the younger generation. Through our wood-carved panels on the balcony, villagers will be able to document their stories and traditions for the younger generations. Another problem is contradicting cultures. Due to the difference in tradition and culture between tourists and the Mameri people, contradictions might happen between the two parties. The tourists' lack of understanding may lead them to unknowingly saying or doing actions that are insulting, rude, or disrespectful in the eyes of the Mameri people. We can try to overcome this problem by introducing the traditions and cultures of the Mameri to the tourists from an early or the first day of their arrival through either a Mameri representative or a cultural exhibitions.
In conclusion, the overall estimated costing of this Kampong Stay project is around 53,000 ringgits. The full breakdown of the cost is included, with the main portion of the costing going to the steel. Through this home Kampong Stay project, we aim to increase the amount of tourists visiting the village and create more job opportunities for villagers. We also intend to help the Mameri people to be able to have a stable inflow of tourists without the aid of third-party organizations. And as we know, through the progress of time and development of technology, lots of human features, attributes, and objects have been slowly diminishing, or even got eliminated. We truly do not wish that the Mameri culture will be a part of this cultural decline. We sincerely hope that through our project, the Mameri people will have a better overall living standard and enhanced quality of life while also preserving their culture. Thank you.